Hello, happy Monday morning. Today is March 1st. Finally March, I can't believe it. This week, my B cohort did not get their bell work on Friday. So what I need you to do is you have two options. I attached this page. You can print out the bell work if you have a printer. And if you don't have a printer, no worries. Just open up the file that's attached and copy these problems down into your math spiral. And at the top of the page in your math spiral, write Monday 3-1 bell work. Monday 3-1 bell work. And you'll do that for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. You'll do that each day and just go ahead and make the corrections after. So if you aren't able to print this, don't worry about it. Go ahead and write these 12 problems down. If you wanted to, you can just pause the screen and copy those 12 down into your spiral. Make sure you're numbering them, please. And work them out and press play so you can check your work. Okay, so hopefully that was clear enough. If not, you can send me a message on Schoology and I'll send you a message back as soon as possible. But if you can't print this out, no worries. Write down these 12 problems for today, solve them out, press play, and then I'll end up collecting the lined paper from you instead of the sheet. But if you can print it out, go for it. All right. So it says to solve, write your answers as mixed numbers in simplest form, and that's as you can. If something can't be written as a mixed number, then don't worry about it. Or if it's already in simplest form, all set. So for 2/3 times 21, you have kind of been trained to go ahead and see this as 21 over 1, right? We want a numerator and a denominator, and when you multiply, we're going to see, can I cross simplify anywhere? Well, with 2 and 1, I can't, but with 3 and 21, I can. I know that 3 times 7 is 21. That means that 3 goes into 21 7 times, and 3 goes into itself 1 time. So I'm left with 2 times 7, which is 14, over 1 times 1, which is 1, and 14 over 1 is 14. So if you're writing this in your spiral, you should have a number 1. You should have 2/3 times 21. Your work should be shown out, and you should have 14 for your answer. For number 2, 3/4 times 1/10. This is multiplication. I want to see, can I cross simplify? 4 and 1? No. 3 and 10? No. So I'm going to multiply across the top. 3 times 1 is 3. Multiply across the bottom. 4 times 10 is 40. And that is it. Number 3, again, you should write this problem in your spiral with a number 3. And let's see if we can cross simplify. Ooh, we can this one, big time. First, I see an identical digit here. That means it can go into itself 1 time. And 3 and 6 can also be cross simplified. If you forgot and you wrote down 3/6 and simplified it down to 1/2 at the end, that's okay. But 3 does go into both 3 and 6. 3 goes into 3 once and into 6 twice. So you're left with 1 times 1 is 1. And 1 times 2 is 2. So your final answer should be 1/2. All right, number 4. Again, you should have number 4 with this written down in your spiral. I'm going to change these to improper fractions because that's what we need to do when we're multiplying mixed numbers. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 2 is 7/5. Times 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1 is 7/3. Now, when you look at this, you might think, ooh, I can cross simplify the 7 and the 7. Those aren't diagonal from one another. The only time you can simplify is if you have a numerator and a denominator, right? So I can't do anything with 5 and 7 or 7 and 3. So 7 times 7 is 49. And 5 times 3 is 15. This is improper. So to write it as a proper fraction or a mixed number, I'm going to see how many times I can count up by 15 to get to 49 without going over. So 15, 30, 45, 3 times. 15 times 3 is 45. And 45 plus 4 is 49. So 3 and 4/15 should be your final answer. All right, now we have some division, and we learned that when we're trying to divide numbers that don't come out nice and whole and pretty, that we can use the inverse of multiplication and multiply by the reciprocal. So with 1/4 divided by 3, I can change this to 1/4, which I can't change what I start with, right? Whatever I have to divide up stays the same, times, and with 3, the reciprocal of 3 can actually be written as 3 over 1, right? So the reciprocal of that means I take that denominator and make it my numerator, and that numerator and make it my denominator. So 1/4 times 1/3 is going to give me the result of this. 1 times 1 is 1, and 4 times 3 is 12. If you needed to draw out the visual model of drawing that 1/4 of a cake and cutting that up into 3 and separating up the rest of your picture to see, oh yeah, that is 1/12, please do so. I think pictures really help. So 3 divided by 1/4 would mean I'd have 3 wholes, and I want to know how many fourths there are in 3. To get this answer, I can multiply by the reciprocal. So 3 times, and if I flip around the 4 and the 1, I would have 4 over 1, right? And 4 over 1 equals 4. So the answer would be 12. And if you think about it, there are 4 1/4 in 1, so there would be 4 times 3 in 3. All right, some more division. 8 divided by 1/9. I will get the same solution if I use the inverse and multiply 8 by the reciprocal of 1/9 is 9. Technically it's 9 over 1, but 9 over 1 is 9. And 8 times 9 is 72. Number 8, 5 divided by 13. Maybe you just look at this and say, well, 5 divided by 13 means 5 over 13, because that's 5 divided by 13. The way we get that is by multiplying 5 by the reciprocal of 13, which is 1/13. And number 9, this one, it looks like it's the same, but it's not. 13 divided by 5 would mean 13/5. So they look similar. Those are actually reciprocals of one another. 13/5 would be equal to, 5 goes into 13 2 times with 3 left over out of 5. And the way we got that was to take 13 times 1/5. So in every division problem that you see, you can arrive at your answer by multiplying by the reciprocal. Not because it's magic, because you've seen with our visual models that it works. Now, of course, I have to throw in some addition and subtraction problems here because I want to make sure that you remember, oh yeah, I need a common denominator when I'm adding and subtracting. And for this first one, 6/7 minus 1/3, I don't have a common denominator. And I can't multiply my lower one by something to get my higher denominator. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply this first fraction by 3/3, the opposite fraction's denominator, and 1/3 by 7/7, the opposite fraction's denominator. And the reason I do that is because on the bottom of both of these, I end up with the same math problem, which gives me a common denominator. 3 times 6 is 18, and 1 times 7 is 7. Now I can go ahead and subtract. 18 minus 7 is 11, and my denominator stays the same. So 18 out of 21 minus 7 out of 21 is 11 out of 21. For number 11, I don't have a common denominator, and I need one if I want to subtract. I do notice that I can multiply 2 by something to get 8. So go ahead and multiply that 1/2 by 4/4, and you get 4/16, 4/8. Silly Mrs. Trombley. Minus 1/8. 4 minus 1 is 3, and I leave that 8 alone because that's what it is out of. Now, if you used 16ths, if you multiplied this by 8/8 and multiplied this by 2 over 2, you'll get the same answer. You'll just have to simplify it down. I think you'll have like 6/16ths, and then you just divide them both by 2. Okay, last but not least, I see I am adding and I do not have a common denominator. I do notice I can multiply 3 by 5 to get 15. So you should multiply both of those, the numerator and the denominator, by 5 over 5. Because that's like multiplying by 1. And multiplying by 1 doesn't change the value of something. So I have 7/15 plus, this will become 10/15, which gives me 17/15, which is improper. 15 goes into 17 one time, and there's 2 left over out of 15. So 1 and 2/15. All right, so if you printed this sheet out, you're all set. You'll use the same sheet tomorrow. If you did not print this sheet out and you wrote these 12 problems inside your spiral, no worries, that's fine by me. Tomorrow you'll continue along on that, using that same paper and do tomorrow's bell work. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.